Portland has been on the news almost every single day, and that means that almost every single day, the nation gets to see a confederacy of incompetence that has made Portland, Oregon, ground zero in what a city looks like when elected officials cowardly yield to mob rule. Look, I feel so bad for the families, the business owners, the law-abiding citizens of Portland who now realize that they have been abandoned. And please, let's stop pretending that these are Black Lives Matter protests. That's just a convenient semantic shield for a group of anarchists, thugs, and criminals, most of them white, by the way, who know that Democratic elected officials will cower to them if they pretend they're BLM. In fact, let me name names. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, Multnomah District Attorney Mike Schmidt, Oregon Mayor Kate Brown, a pack of pigeon-hearted politicians who are in hiding when the city needs them to lead. And I do mean hiding. How many times have you heard this from TV reporters covering the chaos?
And we did try and get a response and additional information from Portland Police today. We got nothing. We also got nothing from the mayor's office or the governor's office, for that matter.
Their silence is a sign of surrender. For instance, ever wonder why there's not curfews in Portland? As a matter of fact, they tried them when the riots first started 3 months ago. It was May 29th when the violence and destruction first started that Mayor Ted Wheeler did impose a curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., but he lifted it quickly because he said it just didn't work because it upset the protesters even more. Aw, the rioters didn't like the curfew. You see, Mayor Wheeler is reluctant to enforce any laws, including his own. You see, Wheeler has this weird fantasy that he is one with the mob, that they are simpatico. Mr. Mayor, I hate to break it to you, they don't like you. They want you fired. They've said so. And so here we are, 3 months of rioting, and things aren't getting better, they're getting worse. Gee, I thought things were magically going to get better once the federal law enforcement officers agreed to stand down. But instead, on August 16th, a Good Samaritan who was trying to help a transgender woman who was being robbed was beaten and left unconscious and helpless on the street. This video aired internationally. There were no police to stop the brutality. Portland police later said they were laying low because their presence would only make things worse. Again, they didn't want to upset the rioters. Since the police weren't doing their job, some decided to take things into their own hands. Who are they? It depends on your political leaning. Left-wing media called them alt-right. Right-wing media called them patriots. One thing is for sure, their presence caused a riot. Oh wait, it's not a riot. At least not according to the Portland police. The Portland Police Department released this statement saying that although the activity of the group met the definition of a riot, they didn't declare one because they didn't have adequate resources available to deal with such a declaration, meaning if they can't respond, it didn't happen. Imagine if they handled all crimes that way. It's not happening because we can't respond. Helps with crime stats.
This has been declared a riot. All persons must immediately disperse to the...
Now, police did respond in force on August 24th and declared a riot when rioters attempted to set the Portland Police Association headquarters on fire. Innocent Good Samaritans and Portland small businesses, they're one thing. But when rioters go after the police union, well, now they're going too far. Portland is suffering from a virus called inept leadership that is a pandemic across America in several large cities. Portland has been hit particularly hard. These boarded up buildings are one thing, businesses, big and small, leaving, that's another. The Downtown Development Group sent the mayor a letter begging him to take action because they have never seen in history this many businesses leaving downtown Portland. Greg Goodman of the Downtown Development Group wrote a letter to the mayor saying that the departure of the businesses has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter and everything to do with lawlessness that you, Mr. Mayor, are endorsing. Mr. Goodman is right. Doing nothing is an endorsement. And I'm not letting the new police chief off the hook here either. So far, Chief Chuck Lovell has gotten off as a victim in all of this. The mayor is holding him and his department back. City Council wants to defund the police. The protesters want to dismantle the police. Poor Chuck. Chief, it's time to man up. Speak out. And if it's true that they're holding you back from doing your job, resign in protest. You'll be a national star and a hero to law enforcement across the country that are fed up. We'll have to wait for elections to get rid of these three stooges. But Chief Lovell, you, sir, you know better. You're an 18-year veteran of the force. And if they're not going to allow you to do your job, tell them to take this job and shove it. Look, maybe I'm expecting too much of you, but Chief Lovell, if you don't speak out, if you don't do something, you're part of the problem. I'm Larry Mendte. We'll talk again soon.